We are taught from a young age that forgiveness is noble, that second chances are a sign of grace, and that everyone deserves redemption. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Not everyone deserves a second chance. Some people don't hurt you by accident. They don't stumble into their mistakes. They knew exactly what they were doing and they did it anyway. Maybe it was a betrayal, a lie, a manipulation that shattered your trust. Maybe it was a pattern of behavior that chipped away at your self-worth, your confidence, your peace. And when you finally found the strength to walk away, here they come asking for another chance. But here's what I need you to hear. Protecting yourself is not cruelty. Keeping your distance is not overreacting. Saying no is not mean, it's necessary. There's a common misconception that setting boundaries is an act of cruelty, that when you say no more, you're somehow being unkind or unforgiving. But here's the truth. Boundaries are not about punishing others. They're about protecting yourself. Think about the last time someone hurt you, not by accident, not because of a misunderstanding, but because they made a deliberate choice to lie, betray, manipulate, or disrespect you. That wasn't a mistake, that was an action, and actions have consequences. Yet, when you decide to distance yourself, to walk away, or to refuse to give them another opportunity to hurt you, suddenly you're the one being called harsh or cold. You might even feel guilty, wondering if you should have been more forgiving, more understanding, more willing to let them back in. Let's be clear, choosing to protect yourself does not make you a bad person. Imagine you have a house. It's your safe space, your sanctuary. Would you let someone who repeatedly disrespected that space, someone who trashed it, broke your windows, or stole from you, just waltz back in without earning your trust? Of course not. You would lock your doors, you would change your security system, you would make it clear that your home is not open to those who don't respect it. Your heart, your mind, your peace, they are your home. And you have every right to protect them. Boundaries don't mean you don't care. They don't mean you're bitter or angry or holding on to resentment. In fact, boundaries are the opposite of resentment. When you don't set them, when you allow the same people to hurt you over and over again, that's when resentment starts to build. That's when your heart becomes heavy with anger and frustration. But when you set boundaries, you free yourself from that cycle. You create a space where healing is possible, where you can breathe, where you can exist without the constant fear of being hurt again. Some people will tell you that boundaries are selfish. That's because they benefited from your lack of them. They were comfortable crossing your lines, knowing you would always let them back in. When you finally say enough, they don't like it, not because it's wrong, but because it forces them to be accountable for their action. And here's the hard part. Some of the people who hurt you will never truly understand why you need those boundaries. They will paint themselves as the victims, they will accuse you of being unfair, and they will try to guilt you into making exceptions. But exceptions are how you end up hurt again. So let me remind you, you are not responsible for how others feel about the boundaries you set. You are only responsible for protecting your own well-being. You don't have to justify your need for peace. You don't have to explain why you won't tolerate disrespect. You don't have to apologize for demanding better. Boundaries are not walls that keep love out. They are gates that let in only the people who truly respect and care for you. They are not about isolating yourself. They are about ensuring that the relationships in your life are built on trust, kindness, and mutual respect. So if someone tells you that your boundaries are unfair, ask yourself, is this someone who actually respects me, or is this someone who just doesn't like being held accountable? Because the people who truly care about you will never be offended by the limits you set to protect yourself. The only ones who will complain are the ones who benefited from you having none. Boundaries are not punishment. They are self-respect in action. And you deserve to live in a space where you feel safe, valued, and at peace. We've all heard the phrase, everyone makes mistakes. It's a comforting thought, and in many cases it's true. People slip up, they say things they don't mean, make poor choices in moments of weakness, or unintentionally hurt the people they love. No one is perfect, and imperfection is a part of being human. But there's a difference, a big one, between a genuine mistake and a deliberate action. A mistake is accidental, a decision is intentional. And when someone intentionally hurts you, you have to stop excusing it as just a mistake. Think about it. When someone lies to you, betrays your trust, manipulates your emotions, or disrespects your boundaries, was it really just an accident? Did they truly not know better? Or did they make a choice knowing full well that it would cause you pain, but they did it anyway? Intentions matter. When someone's actions hurt you, the first thing you should ask yourself isn't, did they say sorry? It's, did they ever care in the first place? Because an apology without changed behavior is just manipulation. If someone's mistake was truly unintentional, their response to it will tell you everything you need to know. They will take responsibility, they will acknowledge the hurt they caused, they will put in the effort to make sure it doesn't happen again. But when someone's actions were intentional, their response will be different. Instead of taking accountability, they will minimize what they did. It wasn't that big of a deal. Blame you for being hurt. You're just overreacting. Flip the script. You're the one making this a problem. Ask for another chance without proving they've changed. You just have to trust me this time. Words mean nothing if actions don't match them. People who damage you on purpose will often say all the right things to make you doubt yourself. They will act remorseful when they feel they're about to lose access to you. But the moment they feel safe again, when they think you've forgiven them and moved on, the cycle starts all over. This is why patterns matter more than apologies. One mistake followed by real change is forgivable. But repeated offenses, even with endless apologies, show a lack of true care or respect. Now, you might feel conflicted. Maybe this person is someone you love deeply, a friend, a partner, even a family member. Maybe they've been in your life for years, and you don't want to believe that they could intentionally hurt you. But love without respect is not love, it's control. And respect isn't about saying the right things, it's about choosing every day to treat someone with care, honesty, and integrity. So the next time someone hurts you and asks for another chance, don't just listen to their words, look at their history. Have they done this before? Have they made real changes or just temporary efforts to win you back? Do they take responsibility or do they make excuses? Because when someone genuinely regrets their actions, you won't have to ask them to change. They will change because they want to, because they care, because hurting you once was enough for them to never want to do it again. But if they keep making the same mistakes, if they keep coming back with the same empty words, if they keep proving through their actions that they don't truly value your trust, then it's not a mistake at all. It's a pattern, it's a choice, and their intentions were never in your best interest. So let go of the idea that you have to forgive and forget, that you must give them another chance just because they said sorry. If their intentions weren't pure, if their actions weren't driven by love, respect, and honesty, then they don't deserve another opportunity to break you. Because in the end, mistakes can be forgiven, but intentions, they reveal the truth. There's a powerful myth that many of us have been taught since childhood. If you truly forgive someone, you should let them back into your life. But that is not the truth. Forgiveness and reconciliation are two completely different things. One is about freeing yourself. The other is about inviting someone back in. And just because you choose to forgive someone does not mean they deserve a place in your life again. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what someone did. It's not about pretending the pain didn't happen or brushing off the betrayal like it didn't matter. It's about refusing to carry the burden of resentment. When someone wrongs you deeply, that hurt can take root in your heart. It can live there, growing like a weed, wrapping itself around your peace, your confidence, your happiness. Forgiveness is about pulling that weed out, not for them, but for you. Because when you don't forgive, you remain trapped in the past. You replay the moment over and over again, feeling the sting of the betrayal as if it's happening all over again. And the sad truth, the person who hurt you might not even be thinking about it. While you sit with the pain, they go on with their lives unaffected. Forgiveness is releasing yourself from that pain. It's choosing to let go of the grip that hurt has on you. It's saying, I refuse to let what you did continue to steal my peace. But here's the key. You can forgive someone without ever speaking to them again. Reconciliation requires trust. And trust must be earned, while forgiveness is something you can give freely. Reconciliation is not. Reconciliation requires trust, accountability, and genuine change. And not everyone who hurt you is willing or capable of doing that work. Some people apologize because they don't like the consequences of losing you, not because they truly regret what they did. Some people say sorry just to ease their guilt, not because they actually intend to be better. Some people will promise they've changed, but their actions will prove otherwise. And you do not owe them another opportunity to hurt you. Think of it this way. If someone shattered a glass and then handed you the broken pieces, would you try to glue it back together knowing that it would never be the same? Or would you accept that it's broken and let it go? Not every relationship is meant to be repaired. Some are meant to teach you, to grow you, to show you your worth, and then end. You can let go without letting them back in. Letting go of anger doesn't mean opening the door for someone who has shown you they don't deserve to be in your life. You can release resentment without allowing that person access to you again. You can wish someone well from a distance. You can release the pain they cause without inviting them back into your space. You can move on without them being a part of your journey forward. It's not about being cruel, it's about being wise. Some people will try to guilt you into reconciliation. They will say things like, if you really forgave me, we'd be fine now. Why are you still holding on to this? I thought you were a good person. Why won't you let this go? But here's what they don't understand. You have let it go. You've just let go of them too. Because forgiveness is about you. It's about your healing, your peace, your freedom. Reconciliation, that's a privilege. And not everyone deserves it. So forgive, but be selective with who you allow back in. Because some people will take your forgiveness as an invitation to hurt you again. And you deserve better than that. Healing is one of the hardest journeys you will ever take. And the truth is, no one can do it for you. When someone wounds you, whether through betrayal, manipulation, abandonment, or abuse, it's natural to want justice. It's natural to want an apology that feels sincere, an explanation that makes sense, or some grand moment of closure where they admit their wrongdoing and beg for forgiveness. But sometimes that moment never comes. And if you sit around waiting for it, you'll stay stuck in your pain, giving them control over your healing. You cannot wait for someone else to fix what they broke. The responsibility to heal, to move forward, to reclaim your peace, that belongs to you. No one else can do the work for you. People will hurt you. That's an unfortunate reality of life. But once the damage is done, the responsibility to heal from it becomes yours. And that can be a tough pill to swallow. It doesn't seem fair, does it? You didn't ask for the pain. You didn't deserve the betrayal. You didn't cause the hurt. So why should you be the one who has to do all the hard work to move on? Because waiting for the person who hurt you to make things right only delays your healing. They may never give you the apology you deserve. They may never admit they were wrong. They may never feel the weight of what they did. And worst of all, they may move on as if nothing happened while you're still holding the broken pieces of what they destroyed. That is why healing must be a decision you make for yourself, regardless of whether they ever take accountability. They caused the wound, but they are not responsible for your recovery. You are. Healing is not about forgetting, it's about learning. Some people think healing means pretending the pain never happened. That's not healing, that's denial. Healing doesn't mean you erase the past or act like the hurt didn't shape you. It means you stop letting it define you. Healing is acknowledging the pain but not living in it, learning from the experience but not being consumed by it, taking control of your emotions rather than letting them control you. It means looking at what happened, understanding how it affected you, and making a conscious choice to move forward, not because what they did was okay, but because you refuse to let it have power over you anymore. Healing requires effort. Time alone doesn't heal wounds. If it did, people wouldn't still be carrying childhood trauma into their adult relationships. Healing is active. It requires you to do the work. Confront your pain instead of avoiding it. Set boundaries with those who harmed you. Let go of toxic attachments. Forgive, not for them, but for you. Choose peace even when anger feels justified. Healing is messy. Some days you'll feel like you've moved on, and other days the pain will hit you out of nowhere. That's normal. It's not about never feeling hurt again. It's about choosing not to stay in that hurt. You deserve to be whole again. You are not meant to live in a cycle of pain. You are not meant to carry bitterness forever. You are not meant to be defined by what someone else did to you. You have the power to rebuild yourself, to take control of your happiness, to rewrite the story of your life. But no one can do it for you. Not your friends, not your family, not even the person who hurt you. It's your job to heal. It's your responsibility to choose yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with your heart, your mind, and your peace. And you deserve for all of those things to be whole.